Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I know I'm coming a little bit late, but it is my base Boxycharm unboxing for the month of August. August, yes, it is August. So if you want to see all of the goodies inside of my August Boxycharm box, which literally arrived at the door probably like a minute and a half ago, make sure to keep on watching and please don't forget to subscribe because I upload 3-ish times a week and that's going to be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into this box with me, see all the goodies and try all of them out, stay tuned. Alright, so first out of the box is the theme card, which is Boxy Glamping, Spa, Sunbathe, Yoga, and Slumber. Really cool, like, self-care-y kind of vibe, so I'm really happy about that. This is variation 14, so variation 14. The first time out of the box, I am not going to be using on camera for a few reasons, but they are the Milk Makeup Cooling Eye Water Patches. A set of cooling, depuffing gel eye patches packed with energizing caffeine and soothing seawater. Retails for $22. I have used these before, but they're actually quite nice. They are individually packaged eye gels, but I am actually on my way out to Jadi G's house. She and I are going to be filming some stuff together today, and I already did an under-eye mask, which is why my eyes don't look completely crazy today. I've been using the Good Molecules one because that's what I have open. I try to like rotate through my skincare, use one, and when it's done, go to the next one. So this is going to go into my to-use eventually pile, but not going to be opening it today on camera because there's honestly no need. It would just be redundant. The next item out of the box is from QMS Metacosmetics, the Active Glow Tinted Day Cream, a lightweight sheer and color adaptive cream with vitamins to help blur imperfections to really visibly glowing skin. To reveal, I can't read today. Combination of skin perfecting light tint and hydrating formula makes this an ideal day cream. Retails for $105. That's a lot. So I'm going to grab a brush and let's try this out. I did not put any primer on my skin today. I just want to see how this applies. So I'm going to... Oh, that is not sheer. That's got quite a bit of coverage to it. So that is legitimately a tinted moisturizer. So we'll see how the coverage looks. But I'm going to take a little on a brush. Okay, so right off the bat, it definitely is sheer coverage. It looks like right out of the tube, it is a lot more pigmented than it actually is. I think it evened everything out quite nicely, but that was 2 pumps, and I'm actually going to go in with like a half a pump just in my problem areas where I have additional redness, just to build it up slightly. I guess we're going super no makeup today. As far as something like this in a Boxycharm box, I will say I'm quite happy to get something like this because it is fairly sheer. I don't feel like I have a whole lot of makeup on my face, but I feel like there's a nice even amount of coverage so everything looks nice and clear. Typically, if I'm going to use a tinted moisturizer, I go in with the Beauty For Real MVP tinted moisturizer, which I am obsessed with because it's both a tinted moisturizer and it does have a full coverage concealer in the cap. So something like this is way more sheer, whereas this is more of a light to medium coverage, but you can build this up to full. This, I can tell you right now, I don't see any feasible way I can build this up to anything more than like a soft, light coverage. I am just gonna, I noticed the sides of my nose, it bunching a little. So I'm gonna take my Juno & Co sponge and just fix the nose up because it's got quite a bit of redness there still. Now, I actually think this looks really pretty on the skin. I am going to grab a tiny amount of a setting powder just to set it down, and then I'll be back to jump into the next item in the box. Alright, so I did also throw on a tiny bit of bronzer just because this is going to be very no makeup. So this is a 4-piece Morphe Brush Set. It retails for $12, and I'm going to be using these today with the next item as well. So in addition to the eye brushes that I'm going to use, the next item is the Butter London Teddy Boy Eyeshadow Palette, highly pigmented 9 shadow palette, and it's super cool toned, so I'm excited to jump into that. And I'm going to be using the brushes that came in the box to do the eye look. So I'm going to, this is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to start with the blending brush, and I'm going to start by taking Nigel, the Bone shade, and I'm just going to pat that all over the lid and then into the crease to serve as my transition. That's just going to help everything else blend a little bit better. I love how the face is super no makeup, and the eyes are going to be super bold. Then I'm going to take Simon up here as my true transition, and I'm going to buff that right into the crease, nice and easy. On that same brush, going into Glam, the dark brown, I'm just going to lightly feather that on the outermost portion of the eye. These shadows are actually blending really beautifully. Not that I expected it not to, but it's definitely creating like that nice smoky definition that I really do enjoy from a shadow. I know I'm going to get those comments who are like, that palette doesn't look pigmented. I do want to remind you that I take a tiny bit on my brush at a time and then build it up. So I'll tap in 2 or 3 times very lightly, whereas I know there are people who will like assault their pans by tapping their brush in really, really hard, like 10 times before they even begin to blend. I don't do that. I like to start slow and gently build it up. Then dipping back into Simon, I'm just going to blend that crease shade out. I love how super cool these colors are. I am getting a decent amount of kick up in the pan, so you are going to want to tap in gently. And then something you guys know I love doing is taking that bright shade. I'm just going to diffuse the edges, because that makes everything look even more well blended. For the lid shade, I'm going to grab Archie right here, which is, actually that's a little light. I'm going to go in with Billy right here, the more purpley cool tone shade. And I'm going to start with that dry and see if we even need to wet that. That did nothing. Okay, I'm going to grab a different brush. This is also from Morphe. It's just a little bit denser. And I'm going to try this one instead. Much better. That is much better. All right, now that we've got some smokiness on, the next item, which is actually the last item in the box, this is the Rockin's Cosmetic Big Fat Liner. Always start your eye look with a big fat liner. You can be just as bold as you want. Get creative. It says that it is a kohl marker pen, which kohl liners are usually like the lower lash waterline liners. So actually quite interested to try this out. Let me grab a tweezer to get this open. Kohl liner. All right, I'm going to go right into the waterline with this and hope that it is good. And I'm going to immediately, with that brush, before it sets down, just lightly smoke it out. And I am going to grab a little bit of that Simon brown just to further blend it out. It's actually really pretty. So I was on the fence, and definitely you can use this on the lid as a lid liner, but when something says a kohl marker, a kohl liner, for me, goes in the waterline. So this is bleeding a little bit. It could be that it is meant to be a liquid liner, not a kohl liner. And if that's the case, then that is definitely not the name you should call it. But blending this out on my lower lash is actually like super smoky, and I'm liking it. Oh, it's definitely like a pigmented liner pen, so you can definitely use this on the lid. I'm not going to be doing a full-on liner today because I have Tinted Moisturizer on, and now I have a smoky eye. So we're going to try and keep this at least a little bit normal looking and not look super imbalanced. But with whatever's left on that brush, because that is, you know, black liner, I'm going to just define the crease a little bit more, just so that everything looks super well defined. All right, taking that same brush, I'm going to go into Archie right here, which is the Frosty White. And I'm going to take that on the inner corner and actually pull that onto the innermost portion of the lid as well, just to brighten that up a little bit. I love how a little bit of inner corner highlight can really just change a whole look. I love that. Super smoky. It's a little imbalanced because, again, I've got nothing on the face, but I'm okay with it. I'm just going to set that down. And since this is about where we're going to leave it, I'm just going to throw on a lip gloss. And we have no makeup with a smoky eye. Let's talk through the products in the box. I know this looks a little weird, but again, I wouldn't normally do an eye look this bold with Tinted Moisturizer, but we're going to try it out. So, the Tinted Moisturizer Glow Cream I think looks very glowy and dewy. If your skin is normal to dry, I think you're going to love this. I'm a little more oily, so I would pair this with a mattifying primer next time, and I wouldn't just go in on the skin as its own. I would kind of add a little bit more, but that being said, it does look really pretty, and I'm excited to play around with it and see how it looks throughout the day, and then play around with it some more. The Butter London eyeshadow palette I think came out really beautiful. The eyes are like looking super sultry, super beautiful, and I'm here for it. The Milk makeup, obviously, you know, I'm a fan of the product, but I didn't try it today, but definitely a win. The brushes, I'm going to disagree and say that this is all you need because I don't think it is. I ended up needing to grab 2 additional brushes instead. This, for a lid shade, was a little bit too flimsy. I wanted something a little bit more full-bodied. But I did really like this brush and the pencil brush. But I do like Morphe brushes. It's not anything against Morphe. It's just this kit specifically hit or miss depending on what you're looking for. I will say when compared to some of my other Morphe brushes, it does feel like it is a cheaper quality, but it's also $12 for 4 brushes, which is really super affordable. The liner is the thing I'm a little gonna say I don't like because I used it in the waterline, which I know there's gonna be people who are like, it's a pen, use it on your lid. It says it's a kohl. Kohl is meant to be smoky and smudgy, like kohl pencils are meant to be put in the waterline, smoked on the lid, buffed out, and I mean, it worked for the lower lash, but it definitely does lead itself to be a little bit more of a liquid liner, which I don't think the advertisement of what it's called does it justice. That being said, this box will cost you $25 to purchase, and it is $192 retail value. So you're definitely getting your money's worth. Like, it's not even a question. This box is worth the money. Hands down, period, end of sentence. So definitely a fan. I am really excited to play around with these a little bit more. Maybe see how this eye look will perform with a full coverage foundation, or maybe see how this will wear throughout the day on its own if I want just next to nothing, barely there skin tint. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!